Whispers of the Mountain Night, a lullaby for deep sleep.
The air on the high slope wasn't cold, not truly. It was a presence, a gentle coolness that settled over Alara's skin like the softest, thinnest silk shawl, woven from the breath of the ancient mountains themselves. It carried the scent of sun-warmed stone, long cooled, and the deep, damp earthiness of moss clinging to granite boulders. It smelled of pine resin, faint and sweet, and the clean, mineral tang of snowmelt far above, trickling unseen through hidden cracks. It was the smell of stillness, of the world holding its breath. Alara sat on a smooth, flat rock, worn smooth by centuries of wind and rain, perhaps by the passage of other quiet souls seeking this very spot. Below her, the valley was a vast bowl of deepening indigo, the last embers of sunset extinguished behind the western peaks. Above, the sky was no longer dark, but deepening, a rich, velvety blue-black, impossibly vast, where the first, hesitant stars began to prick through, like distant lanterns being lit one by one in an endless, silent city. The air was so clear, so pure, it felt as if she could reach up and brush the constellations with her fingertips. The Big Dipper hung low, its handle pointing towards the North Star, Polaris, a steady, unwavering beacon in the immense quiet. She didn't feel small here. Not lost. She felt held. The mountains weren't imposing giants, they were ancient, patient guardians, their massive shoulders draped in the soft shadows of twilight. The silence wasn't empty, it was full. Full of the faintest sigh of wind through the high, stunted pines, a sound like distant, slow breathing. Full of the almost imperceptible drip, drip, of moisture condensing on a rock face nearby. Full of the low, contented hum of the earth itself, a vibration felt more in the bones than heard by the ear. It was a silence that didn't press in, but expanded, inviting her to let go, to sink into its profound calm. Her journey up the trail had been long, her muscles pleasantly weary, a deep ache that spoke of effort completed, of a body working in harmony with the land. Now, that weariness was transforming. It wasn't fatigue, but a heavy, golden satisfaction, the kind that comes after a day well spent under open skies. Her limbs felt warm, heavy with relaxation, sinking comfortably into the solid coolness of the rock beneath her. Her breath, which had been quickened by the climb, had slowed to match the rhythm of the mountain night, deep, slow, effortless. In and out. In and out. Each exhale a soft release of any lingering tension, any thought that didn't belong to this perfect moment. She let her gaze soften, no longer trying to see the landscape sharply, but to feel it. The rough texture of the granite under her palms was cool and grounding. The soft wool of her sweater against her neck was a gentle pressure, a comforting weight. The cool air flowed over her face, refreshing, cleansing the mind. She focused on the feel of the air entering her nostrils, cool, slightly damp, and leaving, warm, carrying away the day's dust. In, cool. Out, warm. In, cool. Out, warm. Time, down in the valley, was measured in clocks and tasks. Up here, time dissolved. It wasn't minutes or hours, but the slow shift of starlight, the gradual deepening of the blue, the imperceptible settling of the mountain into its nightly rest. A single, perfect star seemed to pulse gently, rhythmically, like a slow heartbeat in the vast sky. Pulse, pause, pulse, pause. Her own heartbeat began to sync with it, slower, deeper, more resonant. The frantic drumming of daily life faded, replaced by this ancient, cosmic rhythm. Pulse, peace, pulse, peace. A sound, so soft it might have been imagination, drifted on the cool air. Not a howl, never a howl that would shatter the peace. It was a low, resonant huff, like the contented sigh of a great creature settling deeper into sleep. It came from the high slopes above, where the trees gave way to bare rock and scree. It wasn't sharp or alarming, it was a sound of profound comfort, of utter security. It was the sound of the mountain breathing. Ilara didn't turn her head quickly. There was no need. She simply let her awareness expand upwards, towards the source of the sound, with the same unhurried calm as the mountain air. And there, silhouetted against the star-strewn sky on a rocky outcrop perhaps 100 yards away, stood a shape. The mountain night wolf. It wasn't the snarling beast of fearful tales. It was a creature of pure, quiet grace. Its fur wasn't black, but a deep, shadowy grey, like storm clouds lit from within by moonlight that hadn't yet risen. It seemed to absorb the faint starlight, shimmering with a soft, internal silver sheen. It stood tall and lean, powerful yet utterly still, a pillar of calm in the vast night. Its head was held high, not in challenge, but in quiet observation. Its eyes, when they caught the faint light, weren't yellow or red, but a deep, calm blue, like glacial ice reflecting the twilight sky, eyes holding ancient wisdom and infinite patience. It didn't move towards her. It didn't move away. It simply was. A presence as natural and unthreatening as the rock it stood upon, as the stars above it. It watched the valley, watched the sky, watched the slow turn of the world. It watched her, but with no judgment, no hunger, only a deep, quiet acknowledgement. It was a guardian of this stillness, a spirit of the high places, a living part of the mountain's peaceful soul. Ilara felt no fear, only a profound sense of rightness. She was not an intruder here. She was welcomed into the wolf's quiet vigil. She was part of the mountain's breath, part of the starlight, part of the deep, slow pulse of the night. The wolf's stillness was contagious. It seeped into her bones, melting the last tiny knots of tension she hadn't even known she carried. Her shoulders dropped, her jaw softened, her hands, resting on the cool rock, relaxed completely. Every muscle, every fiber, surrendered to the enveloping calm. The wolf lowered its head slightly, not in submission, but in a gesture of shared peace. It took one slow, silent step back, its paws making no sound on the ancient stone. Then another. It didn't vanish into the shadows, it seemed to become part of the night, its grey fur blending seamlessly with the rocky slope, its blue eyes the last things visible, holding her gaze for a long, soothing moment, a gaze that felt like a gentle hand resting on her heart, before they, too, softened and merged with the starlight. It was gone. But its presence remained, not as an absence, but as a deepening of the peace. The silence felt richer, warmer, more protective. The huff of the mountain's breath came again, softer now, a lullaby for the land. Ilara closed her eyes. The image of the wolf, calm and silver-grey against the stars, was imprinted gently on her mind. She didn't try to hold it, she let it drift, like a leaf on a slow-moving stream. Her breathing deepened further. In, cool mountain air. Out, warm release. In, starlight. Out, deep peace. The rock beneath her wasn't hard anymore. It was a cradle, shaped by time, holding her perfectly. The cool air wasn't just on her skin, it flowed through her, cleansing, cooling, calming every thought, every worry, leaving only a smooth, quiet pool of awareness. The distant drip, drip of water became a slow, steady metronome, marking the passage of time not in seconds, but in moments of pure rest. Drip, rest, drip, rest. She felt the weight of her body fully for the first time, a pleasant, heavy weight, like sinking into the softest, deepest bed. Her head felt wonderfully light, floating gently. The boundary between her skin and the cool night air blurred. She wasn't on the mountain, she was the mountain. She was the stillness. She was the slow breath. She was the quiet pulse of the stars. A single, perfect snowflake drifted down from the unseen heights, landing softly on the back of her hand. It didn't melt instantly, it lingered for a heartbeat, a tiny crystal of pure cold, a kiss from the highest peaks. Then it was gone, leaving only a faint, cool spot, a gentle reminder of the vast, peaceful world above. She felt no urge to brush it away. It was part of the lullaby. Her thoughts, which had been like scattered leaves on a breeze, began to settle. One thought drifted in, safe. It wasn't a word, just a feeling, warm and golden, spreading through her chest. Another, still. Not empty, but full of quiet presence. Home. Not a place, but a state of being, right here, right now, under the watchful stars, guarded by the silent spirit of the mountain. The vastness of the sky, which might have felt lonely down below, felt like a protective blanket up here. The countless stars weren't distant and cold, they were gentle eyes, watching over the slumbering land, over her. They twinkled slowly, rhythmically, like a million tiny lullabies sung in unison. Twinkle, sleep, twinkle, sleep. Her eyelids grew impossibly heavy, not with strain, but with the deep, natural pull of rest. Each blink lasted a fraction longer than the last. The sharp edges of the world softened into gentle gradients of grey and blue. The stars blurred into soft, welcoming glows. The cool air flowed in, so cool, so clean, filling her lungs with mountain stillness, flowing out, warm, carrying away every last trace of the day, every worry, every thought that wasn't now. In, cool peace. Out, warm release. In, starlight rest. Out, deep, deep sleep. Her head tilted forward, just slightly, chin resting gently on her chest. Her breathing became even slower, deeper, a soft, rhythmic sigh that matched the mountain's own quiet breath. The rock cradled her. The night wrapped around her like a soft, dark cloak. The distant drip, drip, of water was the only sound, a steady, soothing heartbeat for the sleeping world. High above, on the highest, most silent peak, a single, pure note hung in the air, not a howl, but a soft, resonant chuff, like the contented sigh of the earth itself as it settled into its deepest rest. It was the sound of the mountain night wolf, watching over the valley, watching over the stars, watching over the quiet sleeper on the slope. A guardian of peace. A spirit of the deep, starlit calm. Ilara didn't hear it with her ears. She felt it in the very core of her being, a vibration of pure safety, a promise whispered on the wind, rest. You are held. The mountain sleeps. You may sleep too. Her breath slowed, slower, a soft, warm sigh. In, nothing but peace. Out, nothing but sleep.